We do have 3 candidates in the Republican primary. They're none on the Democrat side. The 3 we have up here tonight are Pamela Beard, Ben Lamont, and Johnny Pierce. We're going to start off with a 2-minute introduction of each, starting with Mr. Pierce.
I am a board-certified trial lawyer. I've been doing this for going on 46 years. I've been involved in every phase of the law. I've read, studied, and argued and presented the law most all of my life for the last 46, 50 years, including law school. I took the bar with an A average, and that's when the work began. I passed the bar with a high grade and then started practicing law. I've taken probably 500 or more verdicts, quit counting a long time ago. The reason I mention that is, what is this all about? What is a county judge? Lawyers got to bring a book, and this is the Constitution. The Constitution, Article 5, Section 15 says every county shall have one, and the county judge shall preside over that, and it shall be a court of record, which is very significant. That means it's a trial court. The county court has civil and criminal jurisdiction, and they take trial de novo, which is brand new because the justice courts are not courts of record. So the county court is a trial court. 85% of what the trial court, the county court does is law related. The Constitution, what did our forefathers tell us? I mean, you know, what's all the talk about? Go to the book. It's in the Constitution. The court says, the Constitution says that a county judge shall be well informed on the law, conservator of the peace.
Thanks, Mr. Pierce. Ms. Beard.
Hello, my name is Pamela Beard. I'm running for Grimes County Judge. I was born and raised in Grimes County over 50 years ago. My mom is from Singleton, my dad from Anderson. I grew up in Piedmont, and my brother-in-law is from Richards, and I have lived in Navasota for over 30 years. My family has had 3 successful businesses in our county. My father-in-law, Dr. Brian Beard, came in 1955 to establish Beard Vet, which he later sold in '83 and is still a successful business today. My brother-in-law, Gary Marotti, owns Marotti Welding in Runs Prairie. Jim and I started State Farm Insurance in 1982, and we had that business until 2010 when he passed away. But before I went to work for him in 1991, I worked at Security State Bank in the Bank of Navasota for 9 years. Jim and I had a very successful business that we had over 1,200 customers. I am currently the Executive Director at the Navasota-Grimes County Chamber of Commerce, which I've held that position for 2.5 years. I am currently on the Economic Development Committee of Navasota. 3 years I have served as a director and 2 years as an ex facto member. I am the Secretary-Treasurer of the Local Emergency Planning Committee of Grimes County. I'm a committee member of the Friends of Grimes County. I have been a supporter and a member of the Grimes County Fair since 1982. I have served on several committees and attended meetings with our local government, the City of Navasota and our county government, our state officials, local Representative Lois Colcourse, Senator Charles Schwartzner, and our Congressman Kevin Brady. Also on our Brazos Valley Council of Government, along with several of our industry businesses and our local schools. Our county will have a tremendous growth coming from Highway 249, the growth of College Station from the west, and the growth from the Exxon bringing 10,000 families to the Woodlands. I plan to serve a full 4-year term and have no other ambitions except to serve Grimes County. I understand the challenges of our county with the coming growth, but where they're not created overnight, they will not be solved overnight.
Thank you, Ms. Beard.
My name is Ben Lamont, and I'm running for Grimes County Judge. I've been married to my wife, Christy, for 10 years in April. We have 4 children. We live in the Iowa community, and we're members of St. Stanislaus Catholic Church in Anderson. This is the most important election in the history of Grimes County because of the growth headed this way. And I'm concerned because I believe this growth can be for better or for worse, and that it will be for worse if we don't plan for it properly. I believe we should plan for it properly to ensure that it is to the benefit of the current population of this county. And in order to do that, I believe the county judge position must possess certain skills: strategic planning, proven business leadership, and conservative spending. And the thing is, those skills, in my opinion, should have been demonstrated by the county judge in a larger organization that's similar to the county government, that's rapidly growing. And the reason why is because that's what the county government is. It's a large organization that has complex needs to consider when planning for growth. And that's what I've been doing My background is I graduated from the University of Texas at Austin with a business degree in finance and concentration in accounting. And while there, I co-founded a company in my mom's garage. And it was just 2 people, so we did the small business and transitioned into a larger business where we had over 100 employees, 25 stocking locations around the world. We had over 400 customers, over 500 products that we designed and manufactured in-house right here in Grimes County at our domestic manufacturing facility. And as president and CEO of that company, I was in charge of the strategic planning and learning how to work well with other leaders to navigate that growth. And it's that experience that I want to bring to Grimes County in the county judge position to help us prepare for this growth headed our direction. Please vote for Ben Lamont for Grimes County Judge on March 4th. Thank you.
What is your depth of knowledge on how county government operates? And how comfortable do you feel you can make that transition into the county judge seat?
Well, I've done quite a bit of research on the county government. I have attended county court, protective order court, commissioner's court, juvenile court. I have met at least 4 times actually with the current county judge for about 3 hours each time to learn about the position. The state of Texas does not require the county judge to have a law degree or a license to practice law. In fact, only 3 county judges in the history of the county have had one. The state requires that all county judges go through training curriculum that adequately prepares them to handle the responsibilities of the county judge position. And additionally, they provide ongoing resources such as personnel and reference books for you to turn to at any time that you need. They also require ongoing training. So I feel very confident through my research and through my attendance and meetings with the current judge and 3 other previous judges that I can handle that responsibility and certainly go through that learning curve as well as anybody has.
Well, in my position of being the executive director of the chamber, you have to work with several local governments, whether it's our local or our state. And I think me bringing that knowledge into that thing, I have not just met with those people, but I have served on several committees with them and done work with them. So that I'm bringing that from that situation into our county government. So I think that's a very big help there. And then we do have several resources that we can use so that it's not that we're all blindly going into this. We all have the same resources from everybody.
It's in the book. Our Constitution defines everybody's job. When our forefathers met in the Constitutional Convention when we declared our independence in Old Washington on March 2nd, 1836, they gave us definitions. They say the county judge shall be well informed in the law. I'm asked a rhetorical question. Can someone that's not a lawyer be well informed enough in the law to be county judge, lawyer, judge? The next rhetorical question is, can our pocketbooks and can Grimes County be liable if someone that's not a lawyer misapplies the law, i.e. maybe does a juvenile situation? But it further defines what the county judge's job is. Number 1, he is to preside over county court, which each county shall have. He is also, Section 5, Article 29, you know, it's law related. Everything the county judge is law related. Everybody's job is defined in here. It's the county judge in Section 29 who is made presiding officer of the commissioner's court. Now this is commissioner's court, not county judge's court. He presides, which means he is not to rule, he is to preside. He is to be a team player. I played enough ball where I think I can be a team player and I can bring the 4 commissioners together and we won't fight about issues. The county court doesn't have a courtroom. I wish we had something this nice. We may have to go out on lawn. As county judge, I'll follow the Lord's admonitions in Micah 6:8. Do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God.
What are your thoughts on having emergency services districts in Grimes County?
Emergency service districts in our county. Well, I mean, we have several challenges with our fire departments. We have several challenges with our EMS. We have several challenges with our ambulance service. So it is up to the county, but it's more so the county, it's more so up to our citizens. What do we want? Because we need to decide if our property taxes want to go that way Or do we still want to take it from our current budget that we're paying from our taxes that we're paying currently now? Because if we do go up to an EMS, it might affect it that way, but then you may have more positive situations that are coming from that. So if you're having those situations, then that might be a better positive thing. But I think it's in each individual, and everybody has to work together to get this solution together. It can't be just one group or versus the other group. Every single person, whether it's your commissioners or your EMS or your fire department, everybody needs to come together and let's talk about this and let's all decide together and then put it before the citizens.
Mr. Pierce?
Certainly, but it all comes down to money. But here, as a county judge, it's the county judge's job to lead, to be a team player and bring together. Absolutely, we need a lot of things. I'd like to investigate the feasibility of a county court at law. But yes, anything we can do to protect the citizens of Grimes County, we absolutely ought to do. Can we afford it? That's what we need to get together about and see what we can do and certainly prioritize. I think that ought to be one of the top priorities.
Mr. Lamont?
I have a lot of experience doing the impossible with a small budget and growing our business. And I think we need to look at that carefully because it's easy, it's easy to say quickly, yes, we need to raise taxes in order to provide basic services. But I believe in that there's a way to move forward that we can create more revenue for this county without raising taxes. And that's by attracting higher-end asset investment into this county. And by that I mean businesses, both small, large, and higher-end residential. I think when you get a tax base, 100% of not much is still not much. If you look around with 60% of our budget coming from the industrial citizens of this county, and you see that there really aren't that many, it just goes to show you how little tax base we have here. We are the poorest, one of the poorest counties in Texas with our income and unemployment. And I think a tax increase for the citizens of this county is a pay cut for everybody. And before we jump to conclusions to do that, I think we need to develop a strategic plan to attract some higher value asset into this county to provide the tax base so we can then generate revenue without raising taxes. To solve a lot of these financial symptoms is really what they are. The problem is lack of revenue. The symptoms are all the above, whether it's Sheriff's Department, Road and Bridge, the fire department, ambulance, etc. So we really have a broader problem we need to develop a strategy to address.
Mr. Pierce, in what ways do we foster growth in our county without a tax burden on our residents?
Well, it's the chicken and the egg. You know, we need a workforce. We need to train what workforce we have. There are a lot of ways out there we can train. There are technical schools. Our schools are a main issue. It's very dear to my heart because I've got a grandson that will be 6 years old in March. That's be the 5th generation in Grimes County. I graduated from Navasota High School, as did my daughter, and played ball over here just 4 or 5 blocks over here, and I live about 5 blocks up that way, go to church 3 blocks up this way. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about when I played ball over here, maybe I took too many hits to the head, maybe that's why I'm running for county judge. But yes, I don't know how you answer that. Yes, you want quality, but as I said before at one forums, you want quality. We sure don't want somebody coming in here dumping toxic waste. You know, I don't know. This is where the leadership of the county judge talks with the 4 commissioners. The county business is done by the commissioners. The county judge just leads them. And that's what I would be. I've been a leader since I was a quarterback my first football team in the 5th grade. I've been in a leadership role. I get along with folks. I think I can get along with our commissioners. And again, it's not my way or the highway. It's let's work together. We got some important things. Number one, the county judge needs to have a place to sit. You want quality industries. One thing you need to be aware of, though, when you start to keep taking your land off the tax rolls, that's less tax base.
Mr. Lamont.
There's a lot of ways that I believe we can do that. The first one is to be creative, and that's what I had to do in my business. I had to find ways to find funding to do things that I didn't have money to do it with. One idea I had, and I ran it by the county attorney, was let's talk about paving roads. You know, one thing we can do is work with a developer. I asked the county attorney if it was legal, if this is a legal option. And so let's say you had a county a developer that found 400 acres and down a dirt road, and they wanted the county to pave that road. Well, I'm not for paving that road just so there's a developer that puts a development there. But what I am for is trying to figure out a way how to payers on the hook, the current county taxpayers. So the idea is, let's work with the developer and say, hey, can you fund to pave the road up front? And we will pay you back over an extended period of time for the county road pavement, not the roads within the development, based off of the incremental tax revenue gained by the county on a percentage basis. So maybe 20% of the property value gained of the tax revenue. And you cut a deal for 5 years or something like that. And so the county's getting a lot of tax revenue immediately as they start building homes. We get that subdivision built in here. And we're not at risk for paving a road to nowhere. So it's things like that that you have to get creative about. It's working with developers in facilitating discussions to try to steer the development in ways that are beautiful to the county. Not, you know, right now the businesses and they're all going to locate on the main roads because there's no other option. There's a lot of discussions that the county can facilitate between developers, electrical companies, internet companies, road considerations, and labor considerations to help steer this growth in the right direction.
Ms. Beard?
Well, there's several things that we can do. Right now, the county is looking at a regional economic group that they're working with, the Center for Regional Studies. Several of our counties are getting together trying to see if we can facilitate that to bring in more economic growth through our situation. We're also currently looking at a school facility. Dr. Schwartzner, our industrial businesses here in the county, are also our Brazos Valley Council of Governments are working together. We have industry right now that is willing to give us facilities, that are also willing to give us machines to have our students learn in this group, this training group, so that they can come and have first pick into our counties, into our industries, which is another way we can do that. But the other thing we need is we need rooftops. We can't bring more businesses if we don't have people here to live. We need people here to live so that they can work in those industries. We also need to make sure that the businesses that do come here are not just blue collar. We also need white collar, but to do that you have to make sure that the atmosphere is what they would want. When you come into a rural county like this, not everything is here of what a white collar business would want. That's why we have so many people who live in College Station or Houston who work in our county, because we're not exactly what they want to live in, because we don't provide the services that they want. So we have to change that if we want that. Several of them are from our industries that could help us at the moment.
The departments across the entire county and all parties of the county, whether it's the cities, it's the schools, it is to develop a strategic plan so we know where we want to go. I had to develop a strategic plan for my business every year, and if you don't do that, then how do you know if you're on track or not, if everybody's not on the same page? So we need to build a consensus for that. And when you have a strategic plan, then you can start facilitating discussions between interested parties for development in the county. You can start consolidating the discussions, so you can go to an electric company and say, hey, we have 5 developers here that are interested in the future of Grimes County. We've just met with all of them, and these are what they are all saying. Will you bring 3-phase electricity to an industrial park? I had to bring, my business was located on 105. I was in Navasota for 9 years, but when we moved, due to the labor circumstances, we could not find the high-skilled labor that we needed to facilitate our growth. We moved it to 105 in Plantersville. And I had to bring 3-phase electricity to my facility right on 105. Now that's one of the major thoroughfares. So working on the next point of infrastructure is a huge part of the hurdle, the barrier that we have to address as a county in order to be attractive for this economic development.
Thank you. Ms. Pierce?
The upcoming growth that we're fixing to have is going to bring us a lot of things, and most of it is businesses that it's going to bring, hopefully. And we're also hoping to have it also bring rooftops in our community. But when you talk about that, you also have to realize that, and I take sometimes exception to the 3-phase situation that Mr. Milan, sorry, Ben.
That's okay.
Sorry.
My wife calls me all kinds of things.
Well, I do take exception to that though, because my thing is 3 phases on all our major roads in our county. And I do not think that any property owner should have their property increased or their electric bill increased for a business that is going to make a profit. I am for everybody making a profit in our county, but we need to make sure that none of our property owners are affected by that. If you want to come here and make a business and make a profit, great, we welcome you. We welcome people before, we'll welcome you again. But I do think that that's one of those things that it should not happen to our property owners.
Did you want to respond?
You bet.
Mr. Lamont will have 1 minute to respond to that.
Okay. I consider 105 one of the main thoroughfares of this county. I don't know about you, but I can tell you, I had to get Entergy to bring 3-phase. They didn't have the poles. They didn't have, all they had was 2-phase. And I also consider, but from Plantersville in 105 all the way up to Anderson, I consider that a main thoroughfare of the county. It connects right into 90, and it certainly is one of the main thoroughfares that's going to be in the future. And they barely have it on that road. There's spots up near Anderson. There's DNR Specialties that has it kind of in the middle. But when you go south of there, it's 2-phase for the bulk of the way. And here's the thing. What I'm really concerned about is protecting the beauty of our county. I love driving over those rural areas. And if you don't work to put the industrial park, say, somewhere tucked behind a hill where nobody can see it, which means you're going to have to bring 3-phase over there, you're going to be staring at industry all over the main roads. So let's work to protect the beautiful aspect of this county.
Thank you. To finish up with that question, Mr. Pierce, what is your vision for putting our county in a position to profit from the upcoming growth?
It's in the book. Leadership, cooperation with your commissioners. Is Commissioners Court led by the county judge who needs a place to sit? Well, it's planning, of course. But one thing, when the wolf comes knocking at our door, and, you know, Harris County may want us to be their retention pond. They want to just make us, we may be sitting underwater right here. Everybody needs water. And the quality of our water. There are so many issues. These are growing pains that you have to address one at a time. Certainly you want quality industries. And they need quality workforce. The chicken and the egg, it will come together with planning and leadership. It always comes back to leadership and cooperation. Commissioners Court is 4 folks with being led by the county judge. And the legal requirement, the county judge, as I see it, is the chief judicial officer. This is all about law. Being a court of record is a trial court. That means the rules of evidence. I've tried lawsuits for going on 46 years. You got to know what you're doing. Planning, leadership, cooperation.
Mr. Lamont would like a response for that. 30 seconds.
I disagree with that. The concept that it's all about the judicial aspect of the position. The county judge, for those that don't know, sits on the 5-member panel called Commissioners Court, which controls the entire budget of the county. They are responsible for funding all the different aspects of the county, which is an administrative responsibility, which requires a significant amount of business experience in order to do that properly, to budget properly.
Ms. Beard, with enough cash reserves to last us a year, would you be willing to reduce the property tax rate?
No, not at this time, I would not. Because I think that we face a lot of challenges in this county that we need to address, which is our roads. Our roads need help. We all know that. Our ambulance services, our emergency services. We all need that, so I know I am not, at this moment I would not, because we all need these services and everybody knows that we need them.
Mr. Pierce.
Yes, I would like to reduce tax rates on our citizens, and some of these industries, we need to give them incentives. We need to get quality industries. We need to make them support us. Yes, let's cut the tax rate and cut our burden, and let's have growth and let that support the tax rate.
Mr. Lamont.
I believe that has to be looked at very closely because there are a lot of infrastructure we need to invest in order to be attractive to the type of high-end asset investment that I see is the solution. So in the long run, absolutely. You know, that clearly as a county, overall tax rates, we know that they're a little bit lower than the surrounding counties, so we have a competitive advantage. We are not overtaxed as a county right now compared to other counties comprehensively when you factor in school taxes and everything. So it just needs to be timed. The answer is yes, but it needs to be timed as the investments are being made in the facilities and infrastructure that needs to be built in order to accommodate the growth. We've done so. And once that is in line with the timing of the strategic plan, then you need to make the move, in my opinion, to lower the taxes.
This question is from the audience. As a county judge, what do you feel your #1 responsibility is to the everyday average voting citizen of Grimes County? Not the business owners or business, but the everyday citizen. Mr. Pierce.
It's in the book. The county judge shall be well informed of the laws of the state of Texas. We had 112 cases, criminal cases, on the docket the other day. You can't get that many cases done in a month of Sundays. And you're entitled, the Constitution guarantees each of us the right to a trial by jury. If folks show up and can't afford a lawyer, the prosecutor's a lawyer, whether it be the district attorney, probably in most cases, is the prosecutor. Well, so the folks that don't show up with a lawyer are at a tremendous disadvantage. I will be their lawyer. I know the law. I know the rules of evidence, civil and criminal. We practice law, our system of justice is called stare decisis. Let the decision stand. That's why I have been constantly reading, studying. Not a day goes by that if I'm not reading it and studying it and writing on it and arguing it, I'm thinking about it. The Grimes County Judge shall be the chief judicial officer. 85% of his job is to protect the citizens. Be Grimes County Judge, not business's judge, impartial, a fair trier of the facts. If the jury is not requested, and they're entitled by the Constitution, here it is again, to a trial by jury. But that's how we need to protect our citizens. And the county judge needs to lead and plan and be the county's lawyer.
Ms. Beard?
I think the people of our county want a clean county, and I think they want roads that get them to and from their jobs and their services that they want. They want to make sure that when they call 911 for an ambulance is there. When they want a fire truck, that a fire truck can get there. But roads are our most important thing, along with a clean county. I think that's a major thing for our community and our service of our people. Because if your judge does not listen to your people and listen well and work with them for their solutions, because it is y'all's solutions. Just because a business makes up our 60% of our budget does not mean that they are the ones who live here and work here. We are. So therefore, we need to make sure that it is what we want in this county, not everybody else dictating to us.
Mr. Lamont.
I think the unique part of the county judge position that people are looking for is good, common sense leadership. It is the de facto leadership position of the county, although it's one member of the county court. There is the leadership aspect that comes with that position. It's somebody that can unite the county, because that's what we need right now, to work as a team, whether it's with the city and county, whether it's the fire departments and within the departments of all the different aspects of the county. We need a common thread, somebody that understands all the different aspects of the county. And having a footprint by going to church in Anderson, living in Iola, having a business here in Navasota for 9 years, and having a business in Plantersville for 2, I have a very good understanding and attachment to all areas of this county. And I can be that uniting voice, and I think that is what is most needed. Anytime you prepare for rapid growth, you need to be on the same team, and you need to have a coordinated effort, or else you won't be an effective planner. Won't be able to execute the plan effectively.
You are our 3 candidates for Grimes County Judge. It will be decided sometime this spring. We're going to give you 1 more minute apiece, starting down at the end. Tell us why, one more time. The book.
I think everybody knows this answer. I'll hold it up anyway. The judge must be the chief judicial officer to bring justice. As Micah 6:8 says, love justice, do mercy, and walk humbly with your God. That's what a county judge needs to be, the chief judicial officer and the leader, the presider of Commissioners Court, to work with them to lead and try to accomplish things. Number one, get a place to sit, a courthouse.
Ben Lamont.
I'm asking for your vote because I feel I have I'm the most qualified candidate up here. I feel that my business experience of navigating rapid growth, as president and CEO of that company, we went over a 500% revenue growth in a 4-year period. Now that's major planning for a complex business. It's major budget considerations there on a daily basis, scrutiny of the budget. I've done it in a complex environment. But most importantly, I care desperately about this county. I want opportunities here for my own children. They're sitting right there on the front row. I want them to not have to graduate high school, go to college, and never come back here until I die so they can take care of my estate. I want them to have opportunities here. And it is very hard for young families to make a living in this county. And that is what we need, opportunity for everybody. And I have the experience to help bring that here and unite the team to get us there.
Ms. Pamela Beard.
Well, I want to start by saying I understand the challenges of our county. With the coming growth, some of our current challenges were not created overnight, nor will they be solved overnight. But I'm willing to listen, understand, and help us find a common solution to our challenges. And it is true that we all need to work together. There is a way that we can do that. I have a good working relationship with the Navasota-Grimes County Chamber of Commerce. I had a good relationship in my 30 years of business that I was here. This helps me bring that to the table. So when I talk about I know this county, I know my people, I've lived here my whole life. I know our challenges. I'm very familiar with them. And I love this community, and we all want the same for everybody else. We all want to be happy, prosperous, but we also need to make sure that it is our county, it is our rural area. That's the reason we live in Grimes County, because we love the rural area. So just remember that when you do go to the polls, that please vote for Pamela Beard, Grimes County Judge.
Thank you, Ms. Beard. And just a reminder, early voting begins Tuesday, February 18th, that's next week, and will end February 28th. The primary will be March the 4th.
All right, and we want to thank everyone who came out this evening to Navasota City Hall to take part in this. It has been an exceptional group here. Thanks especially to those who have tried to listen to us on the radio. We had some problems during the first hour. Sorry, technical difficulties. But don't forget, someone much smarter than I once said that the main drawback of the democratic system is that the electorate winds up with the government they deserve. Early voting begins next